So
I would bet that 90% of the people listening to this don't even know what a ringless voice drop is. It's so mind-blowing powerful. Voice drops are huge.
well, yeah, technology should make things easier. We may not all have the flying cars they promised us in our youth, right? But with a little bit of forethought, we can set up systems where we don't have to worry about that lead being contacted, the moment they register with high quality content. Let's go way out to the level of marketing, advertising. Like, what's the point? Businesses spend trillions of dollars every year marketing themselves, advertising themselves. And the whole reason they do that is so that at some point a conversation happens between a person who's selling something and a person who's buying something. Like, that's it. It all boils down to the information, like sending a message that tells people enough for them to know that they actually want to have a conversation with you about something.
Welcome to the Top Real Estate Influencers podcast with your hosts, Alex Montalenti, Mario Hurley. We have a special guest today, Dan Stewart, CEO of Happy Grasshopper. I know Dan from way back in the Explode days, where we were exploding all over the country. Every morning we were talking to different brokers in a different city, in a different state, doing breakfast with them, feeding them. Back when you used to give realtors bagels and cream cheese, now we just give them Zoom. And yeah, it's been a blast traveling all over with Dan. I've seen his company grow while our company's growing. We're at events together. We were just at Wailopo event together, connecting with some of the biggest industry influencers. And we had to have him on the show. I'm happy to have you here, and I'm excited to explore whatever you bring to the table. But I'd like to get into like insights into customer journey, email marketing, all the things that realtors actually don't know could help their business, but the ones that do know, it's like the best kept secret to how they're growing their business.
Very cool. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, Alex. Congrats on all the success you're having with Real Grader. And you know what? After years of being isolated, just doing the Zoom, I'm hungry to get back on the road. I couldn't believe how awesome it felt to spend time face to face with you and a bunch of other people in Vegas. I got to connect with Mario and Isla Murata for the Brian Eisenhower coaching event. Like, there's so many great people in this industry. It just feels like a gift to be back face to face again. So. Totally. Yeah, I'm definitely stoked to be here, excited to dig in and get some people the help they need.
I also enjoyed getting your free hats.
Gotta have the swag, right? That's important for sure.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, Dan. One of the biggest goals we have here in our podcast is to be able to put a little fire under agents' butts all over the nation and let them know, like, there's this huge world out here that has to do with marketing. We don't expect them to be perfect and experts at it. They don't go to school for it. Very few have that background, but most don't. But as a result, they get to struggle, they get to waste time, they get to waste money. So, I would love to hear from your approach, from your perspective, what are the things that they should have as their ammunition, like in terms of their marketing efforts?
Yeah, well, first place to start here, I really think, is having the right knowledge about how to build a career in the industry. Right. You go to real estate school, you pass your test, you get your license. Maybe you have an idea how many square feet are in an acre, right? But do you really have any idea what it takes to build a prosperous life in real estate? Absolutely not, right? There are a lot of questions there. And, one of the bones I have to pick with our industry is that there's so much garbage pointed at agents. Like, you can throw a rock at any big trade show convention in real estate, and there's hundreds of things agents buy that don't produce meaningful results. Like, that's just pathetic, right? So first place we have to arm agents to really be successful is a little bit of knowledge about how all this really works and fits together. Yeah. So, some of the stats that we all know, we're all familiar with, right? NAR does these massive studies. They produce this data. People get the data and they think they get it, but they don't really get it, right? So that's where we're going to start today.
Okay.
You guys know the stat as well as I do. 87% of people say they would work with the same agent again. Only 11% do, right? People buy, sell, and invest with real estate agents they know, like, and trust, right? Your database is the value of your business. It's the greatest asset. There's fortune in the follow-up, right? I mean, come on. It's all the same stuff over and over again. And people don't really get what it means. So one of my favorite things to do whenever I get to speak at a real estate event, Alex, you've seen me do this a bunch of times, right? I always love to ask the audience. I say, can you please raise your hand for me if most of your business comes from relationship, from past client and sphere referral? And without fail, whether it's YLOPO with a bunch of lead gen studs, or it's, just a regular real estate conference, about 80% of the audience says most of their business comes from past clients and sphere. Okay. So the key lesson here is not to know the math or to know the data, it's to know what to do with it, right? What that stat really means is that every year you're in business, it should get easier and easier and easier to achieve your goals, because the people you serve that first year, if you did a great job for them, you stay in touch, you build that great relationship, they're going to refer you people next year, and so on and so on and so forth, right? That's not what most people do in real estate. Most people jump into this intense emotional relationship called a real estate transaction. And then they jump out of it and serve another client, and then jump on to the next client. Like, we got a bunch of grasshoppers, but we don't have a bunch of happy grasshoppers. To do that, you got to really build that relationship and then maintain it over the course of your career. So as you can tell, I have a soapbox here. This is my favorite topic ever, because people do things that make their real estate careers overcomplicated. It is a relationship business. You've got to get to know people and show up as someone who cares about them more than you care about the commission. Okay.
Yeah. So that brings me into something is like, this great book that Mario gave me that I read over and over and over, called The Road Less Stupid. And the number one question that comes up in that book over and over for me to ponder is, how do you build a business where 90% of your business comes from referrals? Right? Like, and that's exactly what you're talking about here. Yet when I interview even top producers and I say, how many people are in your database? Where's your database? Where's your email list? They're like, it's in my phone. And I'm like, have you ever exported it out of your phone? They're like, no. I'm like, there's an app for that, And then it's like, okay, what are we going to do with this? And how are we going to keep in touch? Which means they're not really keeping in touch unless they're really dialing every day to talk to their people, which we all know is not true. So they're not keeping in touch. So then how can you have 90% of your business come from referrals only?
Well, it's a great question. Again, I'll be a geek for a moment. You can do it with data. Like, today we're nurturing 26 million contacts for real estate professionals. So we don't have to guess about what works, right? We just have to observe it in the data and then help more people do it. So, for people who know you, the thing we see that works the best is a messaging plan consisting of email. Yes, I said email in 2022. Text message, ringless voicemail drop, handwritten card, and social media. Like, we need all of those things, and we need to have a plan. So the plan we recommend is where you email once every 3 weeks about things that are not real estate. Okay. People who know you, they know you're in real estate. You need to show them you care more about the relationship than you care about real estate. That matters, right? So if the only time your past clients are hearing from you is when you're offering them a market stat or encouraging them to refer people to you, like, you're getting to be pretty safe to ignore, right? So I can give tons of examples of content that's effective for that.
If you wouldn't mind reiterating again, what were those 3 items?
Okay, so email, text message, and ringless voicemail drop. And you know what? I'll go into even more detail here. Email, 17 per year. That's once every 3 weeks. That's what we test gets the highest open, the lowest unsubscribes. Text and ringless voicemail drop like a 1-2 combination punch. So let's imagine I was Alex's real estate agent. He's my past client, and he's got a birthday 7 days from today. So today, a week before his birthday, he gets a text from me. It says, "Hey, Alex, it's Dan Stewart. Am I the first to wish you a happy birthday today?" Like, what do you think you do with that? You respond, right? So we have a conversation. And then I've used software to record a birthday greeting. It's generic, right? "Hey, it's me, Dan. Just want to reach out on your birthday. Thinking about you. Hope you get everything you want this year. Give me a call when you can. I know you got my number. It's 727-533-5175. Okay, cool. Talk soon. Bye." Right? I record that once. Alex gets that on his birthday as a ringless voicemail drop. So he doesn't need to answer the phone. He sees he missed my call. He can read it or he can listen to it. I set it up once. I don't have to worry about it again. Right.
So I would bet that 90% of the people listening to this don't even know what a ringless voice drop is. It's so mind-blowing powerful. And I just want to share a funny story. Is like Mario came up with it in our company. He's like, "I got this thing. I'm not telling anybody about it. It's amazing." And he's like, "I'm going to go record it." He's like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "Where did you record it?" I went in my closet. I closed the door, and the audio was so good in there that I just had this beautiful voice drop. And he sent it out, and it hit some people on the West Coast at like 4 a.m.
Ooh.
Right. And they were like, "I love it. Like, even though I got it 4 a.m, you reached me, and I'm going to come to that webinar that Alex is speaking at, and I'm going to show up." It was our most highly attended webinar ever. First time this guy did a voice drop.
That's awesome.
Realize voice drops are huge.
Yeah, there's so many ways to use them too. It's like a secret weapon for people who know you, right? So my company, we provide that. You guys probably heard of Sly Broadcast, Sly Dial. They provide that. Whichever tech you choose, no, you've just got 2 levers. You've got the mechanics, the system that sends it. Then you have the quality of the message, right? So you have to use both appropriately to get to your destination. And, I'll give a couple examples here of ringless voicemail drops that make sense. Birthday greeting, solid no-brainer. Transaction anniversary, duh, let's do that. Once a quarter, let's send a lead harvesting message. And then let's use it to send holiday messages 6 times per year, right? So we got Father's Day coming up. We just had Mother's Day, right? We've got Juneteenth we got all sorts of things we could send messaging about. You just have to decide that's meaningful for you and then do it. So
you're speaking my language. I'm getting turned on over here. I want Happy Grasshopper to do this for me already.
Well, I want to serve the audience. Like, we have plenty of customers. If you want to use our stuff, great, right? If you don't want to use our stuff, great. Just listen to what I'm teaching you and use it in whatever system you have, right?
What you're talking about is like that thoughtless, like it's like a set it and forget it type of thing, which is like what's so beautiful in business. It's like if I can set it up for birthdays, set it up for anniversaries, set it up for a certain amount of dates, it's communication with my relationships that's happening, and I don't have to think or worry about it, and it's happening. So beautiful.
Yeah, I love that you say
set.
Well, yeah, technology should make things easier. We may not all have the flying cars they promised us in our youth, right? But with a little bit of forethought, we can set up systems where we don't have to worry about that lead being contacted, the moment they register with high quality content. We don't have to worry about that past client forgetting about us because we expended the forethought to make sure we set up a process to nurture them. And I'll give one more example here of content that works really well. A lot of you guys will know Barry Jenkins. He's a member of ours, team leader in Virginia Beach, well over 800 sides per year. And using this sort of technique, he's been able to grow his past client and sphere business about 17% since he started working with us. And one of the strategies for ringless voicemail drops You send it out only to people who know you, right? Imagine you get a ringless voicemail drop from someone you don't know. Oh, I missed a call. Oh, you're the best listing agent in my market. Oh, who are you? Like, no, I don't want that, right?
Yeah.
You've irritated someone with the message because you sent maybe the right message to the wrong people.
Mhm.
That person who doesn't know you, they're not ready for you to leave a ringless voicemail drop. But imagine this, like imagine that you look down at your phone, you guys both know who I am, right? I served you in real estate transactions, and you get this message, hey, it's me, Dan Stewart. I'm calling because I need to ask you for some help. You've probably heard that inventory in real estate is really low. And what that means, quite frankly, is that there just aren't enough homes for sale. So I've got this special program I put together just for my friends like you. And I'd love to chat, just like a quick 15-minute chat with you or anyone who's your friend, you know, that has a house they might be willing to sell anytime in, say, the next 6 to 12 months. So give me a quick call. I'd love to chat with you. You've got my number. It's, blah, 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 right? So that more or less is the message Barry recorded and sent. He sent it to about 300 past clients, and he got 2 listings in 24 hours from that. In this hyper low inventory market, he got 2 listings in 24 hours. So
there you go. I mean, what I'm hearing there is that a lot of agents, they don't have that creative savvy, and they haven't mastered, harnessing technology. Well, I say that because even just today, we're training one of our team members in sales. In some of the agents we speak to, they say, oh, I'm just gonna, build myself up talking to people. And they have absolutely no sense of, you're doing it like the way we used to do business 20 years ago. You have all this technology already. You have people that know you. Technology could be speeding up the whole process for you. People are falling in love with you because they heard your voice, because what you said to them clicked with whatever they were thinking about, what's going on for them in the market, what are their needs. And like you said, because all these agents get so much junk thrown at them, you should try this, you should try that. Then where is the time for them to hone their skill in marketing?
I love this. I love the direction we're going here. So let's zoom way out. Like, let's not talk about you and me. Let's not even talk about real estate. Let's go way out to the level of advertising. Like, what's the point? Businesses spend trillions of dollars every year marketing themselves, advertising themselves. And the whole reason they do that is so that at some point a conversation happens between a person who's selling something and a person who's buying something. Like, that's it. It all boils down to the information, like sending a message that tells people enough for them to know that they actually want to have a conversation with you about something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about the resource you have in real estate when every single human being you're ever going to meet in your entire lifetime has to live somewhere. And every single one of those people knows someone who has to live somewhere, right? So instead of like building these massive lead generation funnels, you can get farther quicker just by focusing on those people who already think highly of you. And the numbers are super clear here. For every 100 relationships you have, there are a minimum of about 12 transactions per year. So, we have some members with 100 relationships that are over 20 per year. But, think of who's listening to this, right? The average agent in the US is earning sub $40,000 per year.
Yeah.
They're just doing a handful of transactions per year. And so, getting out of that phase where they're really uncertain about how to build a real estate career to actually having one, it just comes from saying, you know what, I'm going to make a choice. I'm moving in this direction. I'm going to double down on the relationships that I have. I'm going to have meaningful touches with people I know so that I can, serve the people in their lives when they have real estate needs. Like it's that simple, right? It's that simple. From the perspective of understanding, it's that simple, right? From the perspective of doing, that's a different thing, because then you have to think of, like Alex said, how do I get those contacts out of my phone, right? What do I send to them? How frequently do I send to them? How long do I keep sending to them? Like, those are all questions that paralyze agents from taking action. And then they drive home one day and they see somebody else's sign in front of their neighbor's home. And it's like a spear in the heart. And they're like, God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my database in shape. I'm going to stay in touch with people. So hopefully this will be that day for you folks who are listening. It's time to take control.
Yeah, what I do, many of our webinars and presentations, I always get on people's faces and I tell them, like, this is for those people who are serious about their business. I always tell them, we know your time is valuable. Our time is valuable as well. We want to make sure you don't leave empty-handed with just another set of really useful bits of information that you're not going to do anything about. And we see about, I would say about 40% of agents that come back to us after 6 months or 1 year saying, you know what, I should have done what you just told me when you told me. So what would it take, would you say? Because there's a percentage of agents who are listening to us who are going to say, you're right, I'm getting started right now. Let's go. I'm done with everything else. I'm done waiting. I'm done procrastinating. I'm done making excuses. But then there's other percentage of people that say, yeah, you're right. I should do it. I just got to take care of this thing first. And we know that's going to go forever. So what can you tell to those folks who still are not, really taking ownership of what's available in their business?
Yeah. So this is humanity right here in a nutshell, right? I mean, this is a deep question. And I think all of us at some point in our lives, we follow the same pattern, right? We become aware of something. We're like, ooh, that could really be great for me. We have intentions. We start to act on those intentions, and then we encounter a little bit of pain. So we stop, right? So there's a term for that cycle. It's called the cycle of suck, right? And we do this, like if you want to lose weight, you want to save money, you get excited about losing weight or saving money, and then you get hungry. Or then you want to go out to dinner or buy that something, right? And so we're doomed to repeat that cycle over and over again until we decide this is a choice we have to make. We have to decide that we're willing to endure the discomfort until we have the breakthrough, right? Endure the discomfort until we have the breakthrough. So I'm going on a diet. I should expect to be hungry, and I should expect to endure that hunger until I break through, right? See the progress that I want.
Yeah.
So that's the cycle, and we have to get people walking a different cycle. So instead of just having those intentions and just taking action, we're going to have the intentions, but we're going to take measured action. We're not going to do every single thing that we could do. We're only going to do those things that we can measure. And that's so important, because when you're doing things that can get measured, your results get to be very predictable, right? So let's take those two cycles. One is the cycle of suck. The other is the path of mastery. And let's, apply that to this problem of nurturing a database in real estate. So the first pain you're going to encounter is, where are my contacts? Oh my God. Well, they're in your phone. They're in your email. They're in your MLS. They're in your transaction management system. So they need to be exported from all those places. And then they need to be merged, deduplicated, and title case corrected. So this way you don't have like all caps Alex, right? If you send them an email, you don't want all caps Alex. So that stuff has to be fixed. And my company, Happy Grasshopper, our software does that automatically. So we pull it from the different places. We fix that title case correction. Well, then you have to group those contacts so you can send meaningful messaging. And you might have people at different price points, people in different zip codes, people who were buyers, people who were sellers. There's all sorts of groups you could have. And yet you have to have a database structure that's simple enough for you to be able to use it, right? So if you've got more and more detail, more and more different groups, it's harder and harder to know what to send those people. Okay. So let's clear that up. There are two kinds of people alive today. That's it. They know us or they don't, period. There's no exception there. So a lead doesn't know you. They have no clue why they should work with you. Absolutely none. They see you as just one of many. Lots of people have real estate licenses. They know people in their family who have real estate licenses. There's no reason for them to choose you until you give them one, right? Yeah. Now, on the other hand, you've got people who do know you, your past clients. Every single one of them knows who you are, right? All those vendors you refer constantly, the roofer, the electrician, the plumber, the landscaper, they all know who you are. Your sphere of influence, the parents of the kids your kids go to school with, the people in your HOA, your neighbors, people in the neighborhood, people you see out and about, cultivating relationships with those people who already know you. It's a lot easier to build a business than it is with strangers. Okay? So think about dividing that database roughly into two sections. This section that knows you, they just need to hear from you on a regular basis so that they're aware that you're in real estate and that you care about them and that you can help, right? That's what that 41 touch content strategy is all about, with the email, the text, the ringless voicemail drop, the social media, and the handwritten cards. On the lead side, it's a whole different game, right? So these people are all strangers, and most of them become aware of you as an agent because they're online somewhere and they wanted to see more pictures of a house for sale, right? Yeah. So let's think about, and forgive me, guys, I just can't stop today. I hope this isn't too much Dan here in your session. But the thing that I always want to make sure agents understand is the data around lead gen. So last year we had about 130 million leads for real estate, 130 million. Wow. And we had 6.9 million transactions, right? So just doing the math on that, that's almost 20 leads for every home that's sold. Okay. Wow. So, if you're getting a lead from your website, from social media, from one of the portals, Zillow, Realtor.com Homes, you have to know that you're not the only agent that's getting that lead, right? That person is searching in lots of other places. They have lots of other agents who want their business. And most of what those other agents are doing is sending an automated autoresponder. Like that goes out instantly. And then they're set up on a saved search. So just imagine you're a buyer in any market, wherever you're listening to this.
To give you a real example, I'm looking for a rental right now.
Okay.
I've been on Realtor.com every day. I contact 3 to 4 agents a day. And I mean, just sharing real quick so you can put this into perspective for everybody else. It's like, I've actually visited homes, met agents, and out of all of this, I probably, looked at 20 homes, requested X amount of visits to homes. Not one agent has actually asked me, do you need somebody to help you find like another property? Like on the phone, like, what is it exactly you're looking for? Can I be your guide? I haven't had an offer for that. I have received one agent who had a follow-up text sequence that was pretty nifty, but most of them didn't really have a follow-up at all. Yeah. And they didn't put me in their database. They had my phone and their email. I haven't received anything from them, and life moves on.
Do you know the Wave Group? Victor and Marilyn Lund, Marilyn Wilson, Victor Lund. They did this study years ago. They did this study. I had an issue with the data. I couldn't believe it was that bad. So we did the same study and we found the same results. So, you think about almost 20 leads to every sale that happens. Well, over 50% of those leads never get any response from the real estate agent who got the lead. None. Zero response. Those agents who do respond, typically it's like 1.8 phone calls, if I remember correctly, 2 emails, and then it's dead. So, on one end, you've got the agent who's like, man, I need a lead. I need a lead. I got to get a transaction. I got bills. Like, I need to help some people buy or sell real estate. And on the other end, you've got a consumer who's like, why can't I get an agent to call me? Right? That's why they register in almost 20 places for every transaction that happens. So we're teaching them they need to keep reaching out to more and more agents because we don't follow up in a way that's meaningful.
Yeah, it blows my mind. My
Crazy.
girlfriend's like, I don't get it. Like, they're not getting back to us. I'm like, you have no idea. I've reached 40 different agents and only 3 of them have gone back to me.
Yeah.
In 24 hours if I'm lucky.
But when we repeated the study, we just looked at Tampa agents. We're based in Tampa. And we contacted 50 of them about listings that they have. And fewer than 25 ever responded to us at all. Right? It was just amazing. So, if you like categorize agent follow-up into groups, doing nothing is the most common. That's the largest group. The second largest group would be people who make a couple of phone calls, send a couple of emails, and then just move on. It didn't work out. It's not a bad lead. It's a bad lead, right? That's their perspective. When really what happened here is there's a human being who has an interest in real estate. They're saying to the web when they register, like, this is so critical, right?
Yeah.
That person is asking you to be their guide on a journey. They need you to show them the way, right? So the way to convert them, you've got to invite them to come on that journey with you. That's what you want to hear right now, Alex. You want one of those agents to say, I would love to help you
I'm
find
like sitting here like waiting. Like, when is some agent just going to be like, Alex, you must be looking at like 20 or 30 properties right now. Everything's flying off the market for you in Miami. Would you like me to be your guide to like keep you up to date with like, as soon as a listing that matches your criteria, I'm going to call you, text you, and see if you like it. Would you like me to be the person that follows up consistently? Because I know the other agents aren't doing squat. Would you like me to be that person? I would be like, oh my, like, you are the person I've been waiting for. Like, I'm in Miami right now if you're hearing this. And it's like, that's all you'd have to do. And I'd be sold.
It's such a clear thing. They're raising their hand and they're saying, I need help. And most of the time, nobody responds. So they keep registering as more and more and more searches, right? So, let's try to put this in a capsule. If you're investing money in lead gen and you don't have a really professional, well thought out follow-up sequence ready to go to them, you're going to keep that person searching. Your job should be to stop the search as quickly as possible. You want to become that person that they're searching through if they're a buyer. And of course, if they're a seller, you want to go get that listing contract signed ASAP, right?
So now, if I may interject, so what we're really talking about here is about agents having integrity.
Oh man, Mario, look at you. Look at you just putting the pin right perfectly in the map, right? You're absolutely talking about that because, what's an agent say? I'm a true professional. I treat everyone like family. I'm a great communicator. I'm an excellent negotiator, right? You're all of those things. And yet, if you tell people you're going to follow up, which by the way, that's what you're doing when you accept their lead, and then you don't, you're teaching them not to trust you. Right? So the converse of that, like if you really want to build a lead conversion sequence that's effective, you have to set expectations that the automation fulfills for you, right? So imagine this scenario. Here we are doing this right now. I get a lead from Mr. Alex Montalenti, but I can't respond right now. Thankfully, my system is set up to do this. So, Alex gets a text. Hi, Alex, it's Dan Stewart. Thanks for finding me online. I'm in a meeting right now. I'll be free in about 20 minutes. If it's urgent, please text and I'll step out. Thanks. Okay, so that text goes out. 20 minutes later, a ringless voicemail drop goes out. Hey, it's me, Dan Stewart. Just following up with you like I said I would. You know what? Please check your email. I'm going to send you some stuff right now. And when you get this, call me back. You've got my number now. It's 727-533-5175. And I'll follow up with you again if I don't hear from you. Thanks. Right. So that happened automatically. We've just taught that lead that I do what I say I'm going to do. Right. That's a critical thing. And then where most agents go, oh, I get that, but how do I do it? That's where services like mine and like other providers are designed to fill that gap for you. Right. It's the tech and it's the way the tech is used with the messaging.
Beautiful. And then of course, if you can provide that excellent service to them and they are just so tickled because, wow, this agent is different than the average, then of course they want to give you all the business in the world and refer their whole family to you. And they want to hear from you in the future about your birthday, anniversary. They don't care because they had that one-time positive experience with you that now they know you're that person. You're that someone that the average out there does not exist.
And that's really well said. You know how agents feel like real estate is a roller coaster, right? They feel like it's out of control. There's things that, like we've heard that phrase a million times, right? Oh, real estate can be a roller coaster. I like to think of a roller coaster as a really systematic process, right? We're Floridians. We live in the Disney state, right? You can't go ride Space Mountain and have it be different every time. It's highly engineered. It's highly systematic. From the moment you get online to the moment you complete the ride, every inch of that journey was designed. Okay.
Yeah.
So think about what would happen for your business as a real estate agent if you took that level of control of the journey that your lead goes on when they work with you, right? The moment they become the lead, that's when they're getting online, right? What does Disney do? They keep you entertained while you're waiting in line. You just spent $1 zillion to get in, and now you're going to spend most of your day waiting. They have to keep you entertained while you're in line. Now, a real estate lead often gets online 12 to 18 months before they're ready to go on the ride of actually buying, selling, or investing. So you have to have a plan to nurture them through that, right? So, again, moving out of that phase where you're uncertain about what's possible for you in real estate, it just comes from saying, you know what, I'm moving in this direction. I'm not going to do that old thing. I'm going to focus on building a systematic process that will take me where I want to go.
And to add to that, when you have the systematic process that you said, then your results are predictable. Then you can expect your business to grow and be steady and reliable despite what's going on in the market, because you'll have a structure for it. You'll have a plan for it. This won't be your roller coaster. You'll say, I know, I have a plan for it.
You got a little choppy there, Mario.
Did you guys catch the last part?
Was he choppy for you too, Alex?
Yeah, we lost the last part.
I said,
you'll have a system, you'll have a structure.
And your business won't be a roller coaster. You'll say, I have a plan for this. I'm prepared for this.
That's right. And I mean, let's be clear, right? As business owners, what's the purpose of our business? Why? Like, what is this for? What are we doing every day? I believe it all boils down to giving us the level of prosperity we need to live lives that we feel are meaningful. Okay. So you need some level of income to allow you to do that. You got to determine what that level is and then design that systematic process where you'll exceed that. So, if we just, again, step away from real estate, just step into business, your business, mine, any business, there's really just three things that have to be part of that systematic process. We have to get leads. We have to close sales. We have to wow our clients. Like, if our systematic process does nothing but those three things, we can scale to any level we choose, right? So important to really think of this as being within our control instead of, whatever the market says, I don't know. I hope this year is great. No, stop hoping. Do what it takes to make this year great. You have the authority. You have the power.
I'm gonna I love all this data you're sharing about that test where you contacted 50 leads. Cause I'm gonna start noting it. Cause I made about 20 requests in the last 3 days to see properties.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a total of 1 property. I have received 0 voice drops. I've received 0 video text messages. I received 1 canned text follow-up, like automated clearly. And the fact that it was clearly automated also is not a great thing. And I've received no request for anybody that really cares and wants to work with me and be my guide.
Mm.
I've received 0 social media requests to be Facebook, although they have my name. I gave them everything, my name, my phone number, my email, right? Where I am,
Yeah.
No Facebook request, no Instagram follow, no LinkedIn connect, right? So it's like with the world of digital tools out there, I've reached out to 20 agents in Miami, a very high-tech city, in fact, the crypto capital of the world. And yet I've only met 1 person face-to-face. And even that 1 person did not face-to-face ask me to be my guide. And she had the opportunity. She's the only one that had the opportunity. And I probably would have given her it if she even just started the conversation.
Mm.
The fact that she didn't showed me no initiative. And I was like, well, that's not a person who's going to show initiative to get what I need.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Another thing
Yeah.
I'm hearing, if I may, is the fact that because people have had negative or less than excellent experiences in the past with agents, now they're even more careful who they choose to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I'm just looking for the red flags, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not even going to. And that's important to also know.
There are some language choices that make a lot of sense here.
Mhm.
Right? The way you communicate to people. You ever show up at like a party and maybe there's somebody there who sells life insurance and you're like, oh my God, the life insurance guy, right? That's how everybody feels about you as a real estate professional. So you need to tell them how you're not that, how you're different from that. And, in interviewing thousands of clients over the past decade, I would guess that the majority of people who are in real estate got into real estate because of the bad job their agent did for them. That's the thing I heard over and over. I guarantee there are people watching this right now who are like, yep, that's me. That's why I got licensed. So yeah, you got to communicate to these people early and often how you're different and not just say it, you have to be it, right? Fastest way to improve your bottom line is to be excellent. Amp up your quality, your bank account will follow.
I think that's the best way to close this session. Say that again, please.
Amp up the quality, your bank account will follow.
It's beautiful.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for having me here today. Certainly appreciate it. Love the relationship that we've built over the years serving people in the real estate community. And I'm just excited. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Thank you for the wisdom and the common sense and the technology. Eye opener for agents who still did not know about this, like the ringless voice drops. They're all available to all the agents. Of course, the foundation of having that plan, a professional, well thought out plan, is a must. But then once you have that, your results are predictable and it gets easier over time. So that's like the best news ever.
It should. I mean, there's no reason, right? That like the clients you served last year, if you serve them well, they'll happily refer people to you. Again, amp up your excellence, your bank account will follow.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining the Top Real Estate Influencers podcast with Dan Stewart here from Happy Grasshopper. If you're listening to this on audio, feel free to go and watch the full video because this was shot on video as well on our YouTube channel, and give us a 5-star review. Let us know your biggest takeaway and take action.